The streets of Latakia, a coastal city in Syria, became the stage for a horrific massacre that sent shockwaves across the world. Over 2 days of intense fighting, Syrian security forces, tasked with maintaining order, stand accused of executing over 100 civilians. This act of violence, condemned by many global leaders, has plunged the nation further into chaos. The incident has raised serious questions about the new government's ability to control its forces and ensure the safety of all citizens. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for peace and stability in a region plagued by conflict. The massacre in Latakia is not an isolated incident. It is a grim reminder of the deep-seated sectarian tensions that continue to plague Syria. The country has been grappling with a brutal civil war for years, resulting in countless deaths and displacement. The recent violence underscores the fragility of the peace and the challenges that lie ahead for the newly established government. As investigations into the massacre proceed, the international community waits anxiously for answers and accountability. The idyllic coastal city of Latakia, known for its ancient history and vibrant culture, found itself at the heart of a fierce battle. What began as an ambush by Assad loyalists on security forces quickly escalated into a full-blown conflict. The government responded swiftly and decisively, deploying troops, helicopters, drones, and artillery to quell the uprising. The streets, once bustling with life, transformed into a war zone, echoing with the deafening sounds of gunfire and explosions. As the fighting raged on, ordinary civilians found themselves caught in the crossfire. Homes were reduced to rubble, businesses were destroyed, and families were torn apart. The fighting lasted for 2 agonizing days, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. The exact sequence of events leading up to the massacre remains shrouded in uncertainty, with conflicting reports emerging from various sources. However, what is clear is that the use of disproportionate force by security forces resulted in the loss of innocent lives. The massacre in Latakia has drawn widespread condemnation from the international community. World leaders have expressed their outrage and called for an immediate end to the violence. The United Nations has urged restraint from all parties involved and called for a thorough investigation into the killings. The incident has cast a dark shadow over the newly established government, raising concerns about its ability to maintain order and protect its citizens. The international community is grappling with how to respond to the crisis in Syria. Some countries are advocating for stronger sanctions against the government, while others are calling for dialogue and diplomacy. The situation remains complex and fluid, with no easy solutions in sight. The massacre in Latakia serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the urgent need for peace and reconciliation. The massacre in Latakia has exposed the fragility of the peace in Syria. The country is still reeling from years of civil war, and the transition to a new government has been fraught with challenges. The new leadership faces the daunting task of rebuilding a nation shattered by conflict, healing deep-seated divisions, and restoring trust in institutions. The road ahead is long and arduous, and success is far from guaranteed. The international community has a crucial role to play in supporting Syria's transition. This includes providing humanitarian aid, promoting dialogue between different factions, and holding those responsible for human rights abuses accountable. The massacre in Latakia should serve as a wake-up call, reminding the world that the Syrian people deserve a future free from violence and oppression.